côté de bureau, merde.
Juste ici, regarde vers moi. Voilà, vers moi, juste ici, là.
Regarde ici.
Ah, ici.
Allons-y. Bonsoir.
Sauf sur demande, voilà.
Follow me.
How did you prepare this character with speech impediments? You work on it.
I came in not knowing quite how I was going to do it. We have a very determined, very courageous and rigorous director who made sure that the process was forensic and relentless, and I really enjoyed it. Geoffrey Rush came from Australia early in order to start the rehearsal process ahead of time, and we got a bit of extra time. We used all our spare time, all our downtime, all our evenings, all our weekends, even when we were shooting, just carrying on the exploration, and it was an exhausting but really quite exhilarating process.
We took our inspiration from the real King George VI. We watched this wonderful archive footage of how the real king suffered from his stammering and how he would drown in these painful silences, and his eyes would just hope that he could get it right. And I think we were both very inspired by the real king and the quality of his stammering, the quality of his suffering.
And I heard that you found the diary of Lionel Logg like 2 months before the set.
Yeah.
What did you learn with that diary?
Very exciting. I mean, well, one of the main things we learned, I suppose, was how perfectly our writer had guessed and anticipated the nature of these two men. Because here we found these hidden words, this wealth of secret information, which could have transformed everything. I mean, it could have unraveled our project, and we could have looked at our script and gone, oh my God, we got everything wrong. And instead, it produced a kind of confirmation of what we were doing. It proved that these two men had a wonderful sense of humor, that they had a warm relationship, that there were certain informalities in their relationship. It proved that there was enormous affection between them and dedication. So, and apart from that, it was just wonderful to hear these words that were spoken that nobody knew. You know, not even members of the royal family had known them until we saw them.
The writer David Seidler had a severe stammer when he was a little boy, and he used to listen to King George VI on the radio during the war and think, well, if the King of England can cope, maybe there's hope for me. And so he grew up with King George as his childhood inspiration, and when he became a writer, his dream was to write about King George VI. So for him, this film tonight is almost a 70-year dream from the little boy to where he is now. And he was very helpful in rehearsal at telling us what it felt like to stammer. And of all the people Colin spoke to, I think David was extremely helpful.
I heard that it was your mom that who convinced you to do the movie. Could you tell us about it?
Yeah, the only reason I found the material is because I happen to be half Australian and half English. My Australian mother was invited late 2007 to a tiny fringe theatre in North London by some Australian friends to make up a token Australian audience in a play reading of an unproduced, unrehearsed play called The King's Speech. She's never been invited to a play reading in her entire life, but thank God she went, because she came home, rang me up and said, I think I found your next film.